up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and you're watching the Red Cup Podcast, where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks because this is where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. And today is Thursday. I want to welcome everyone to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the people that are going to watch the replay. Thank you for the people in the chat. Thank you for the people that are going to watch the replay and be down in the comments saying whatever. All right. But thank you all. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. It's Thursday. What's going on, Tyrone? What's going on, Loud and Clear? What's going on, Magnetar? What's going on, your car? What's going on, Waters Peace? What's up, you guys? What's going on? Hold on. That's why I hit the like button. How do we say that name? Tell me how to pronounce that name. I'm trying to get everybody's pronunciation right, okay? Because I have been told that I say names wrong, okay? I used to say Kamala, now I say Kamala. Okay, they told me on the left that I was wrong and I need to say her name right. All right. And I have another follower that I'm going to say his name right. Instead of Chavez, it's Chavis. So Chavis, I got you. I got your message. What's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling? What's going on, chat? What? Oh, Kamala. I thought they said Kundula. What's going on? What? A Canadian? You know what? Y'all are wild. Y'all are wild. How's y'all Thursday going? What's up, DJ Ace? You feeling great? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I have an accent. I can't get rid of it. It is what it is. You guys, I am feeling good. I got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm really, honestly and truly just feeling great, blessed, all that, all the above. So we're going to get into it. We got a lot to talk about today. What's going on, Triple Skrilla? Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about, of course, Donald Trump, because Donald Trump dominates the media, okay? The media can't do nothing else. But, of course, we're going to talk about Trump and the iPhone deal, okay? We're going to talk about the left and all this immigration stuff that's going on. And then we're going to talk about Ratchet Crockett, okay? Because Ratchet Crockett is actually back in the news. And we're going to talk about Snap, okay? If you know what Snap is, EBT, all that good stuff. All right. So we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to get into it. All right. All right. What's going on? How do you pronounce that? What is that? Manasa King reacts. What's going on, Mega? How y'all doing? What's going on, Showcase Classics? How are y'all doing? Yeah, just type it how it's pronounced and I will get it in. That's right, DJ. It's that DC accent. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get this thing started because I got a lot to do this evening and, I got a lot to do. But let's go ahead and get started. So, you guys, Snap says no snacks. And what do I mean by Snap says no snacks? Snap is saying you guys cannot keep buying all that junk with government money. And when I tell you the left is going irate, as they always do over everything, but the left is going irate because they cannot see how the government can tell them what to do. Okay? It's Yahtzees. Okay? This is supremacy. This is a dictatorship. When you tell people what they can do with their money, even though it's not their money, it's their money. You can't tell people what to do anymore. And that's a fact. Okay? We shouldn't look out for their health. Not at all. Okay? Let them be big backs. Let them be, high calorie individuals. Let them do it. Okay? And the men on the left are no better. Okay? The low testosterone is just running rampant over there. Okay? So you guys, I want to get into this news story because when I tell you guys This was wild. This was wild because it set off a whole chain of events. All right. I want to get into this. Let's go.
In 2026, people who receive Louisiana SNAP benefits will no longer be able to purchase soda, candy, or energy drinks.
One community activist says it's time for Shreveport to start planning now in case SNAP limitations and job requirements push people out of the program who need it. NBC6's Lynn Vance reports.
Changes are coming to the SNAP program in 2026. Many states will be affected, including Louisiana. Recipients will no longer be able to purchase soft drinks, energy drinks, or candy.
And I think it is important that we eat better. I think that's kind of like the thing that we all know without being said, right? But do we need to legislate that?
Many people may think it just comes down to making better choices, but in some areas, there isn't another choice.
There are food deserts across the city of Shreveport, Shreveport-Bossier area, where not only can folks not access what you would think are just basic items that you would get from the grocery store, they can't access produce, just basic fruits, good quality vegetables.
Hosang expects more cuts to aid, more job requirements, and stricter requirements in the future. She hopes local organizations, nonprofits, and local government will partner to combat food deserts.
We do, as the public, have to start determining what do we want to see when it comes to the health of our community. We've talked about we don't want to see more liquor stores, right? But what do we want to see more of in our stores, in our communities?
Shreveport has a farmers market that takes SNAP and community gardens, but not everyone knows about the resources available.
And I'm hearing as we talk to people in community, they want to see more of it. They want more information about the ones that exist because we have some community gardens, right? How can they participate? What are the schedules? So I think that there has to be more partnership around information delivery.
Here's the thing, okay? And I don't mean to break in, but here's the thing. They're like, oh, well, a lot of people don't know this information. Why? Why? The elected officials that you guys elect down there, okay, the Democrats, why aren't they telling you about these things? It's there, right? Why aren't they telling you? I know here in DC, every time you talk about something about the farmers market, they're like, oh, that's white people stuff. Okay, that's that. Nobody else goes to that. Okay, everybody goes to the farmers market. However, that's mostly what you see there because the Democrats don't really put it out there that, hey, this new farmers market open, this new farmers market open. Okay, because they really don't want EBT people there. Like, let's keep it 100. The liberals, they like to act like they want you there, but they don't really want you there. They like that you're a voting bloc and they will advocate for you, but they don't want you in their spaces. That's why they move certain places. However, yeah, this is what I'm saying. Here's the thing. You got the Democrats when 50 Cent was down there. 50 Cent tried to give more jobs, try to give, more opportunities. And the Democrats, along with Roland Martin, he decided to go ahead and tell Black folk, Latinos, he decided to go ahead and tell all of them, hey, do not vote for this bill that will allow Republicans and 50 Cent to bring these jobs here. They're trying to sneak this other stuff in. Okay, cool. Well, you guys voted it down and you voted for these Democrats again. So where's the money? Where's the money going? Why are there food deserts there? Why are there food deserts there? Why is everybody on SNAP? Because they have no jobs. So y'all allow these Democrats to tell y'all that the Republicans are bad or that everybody except a Democrat is bad, but then they have no recourse for you. Like they have nothing for you. Nothing. And then you continue to have only Dollar Trees and Dollar Generals in your area. Like I don't understand. I don't understand. It's for the life of me. I've never understood this. And then on top of that, why do you only have to buy candies and cookies and things like that? I see other stuff in the Dollar General.
Lynn Vance, NBC6.
Now, her organization, ASAP, All Streets, All People, will hold a monthly dinner in Shreveport open to the public to discuss community issues and solutions. And you can find more information on their Facebook page.
Ciao. All right. So you guys, that is what what is going on in Shreveport, okay? And here's the thing about that. What's going on in Shreveport is nothing new because all these Democratic cities are all doing the same thing, okay? They're all doing the exact same thing. But I want to get into what a lot of people are doing online right now, which is complaining about these new restrictions, okay? Because apparently we can't tell them anything. So, you guys, I want you to get into what people have to say about all of us telling them what they can do with their money, meaning food stamps. Here we go.
Probably going to piss y'all off, but I said it before and I'm going to say it again. Rich people should have no say in how people who receive food stamps spend their food stamps. People who are not food stamp recipients should not have a say in how food stamp recipients spend their food stamps. People who have never had to survive on food stamps should not have a say in how people who receive food stamps spend their food stamps. Stopping food stamp recipients from buying junk food with their food stamps is only going to lead to more families going without food.
How? Houseway. How does that lead to more families going without food? Like, how does that actually work? How does stopping the, like,
Have you ever had to live in a food desert, a neighborhood where food is not easily accessible, and the only place that you can actually access only sells junk food? Have you ever had to work with a budget of $400 a month to support your family of four? As a matter of fact, have you ever had to work with a $400 a month budget to feed a family of two? Now,
who's working? Nobody's working? Not nobody. Not one person in the house is working. Why is it only $400 of a family of four? Now, I understand only getting $400 from SNAP, but that's called supplement. The S in SNAP is supplement. What else are they doing?
let's also put into perspective that in a lot of low-income neighborhoods, most of the fruits and vegetables that are available to them are not good quality. They don't last more than 2 days in the refrigerator.
Sir. Fruits and vegetables are supposed to go bad. That is because it's fresh. And that's up to you if you're looking at fruits and vegetables that are near expiration.
And they're expensive. So imagine spending all of the money that you received for food stamps on produce and it doesn't last you more than 2 days. And now you're out of money, but you still got to feed that family of four. And let's not forget that the food stamp budget is being cut, which means that people are going to receive less money in food stamps than they have in the past. But prices are still going up for groceries.
That is a lie. That is a lie. Eggs are down. I go to the grocery store all the time. Eggs are down. And on top of that, I will say this, okay? The food prices were already up, but I haven't seen them go up even more. Let's just say that. Okay? But my problem with his argument is he's back to the same point. He's back to, okay, well, what about this? What about that? So so y'all only eating junk. America is the only, I swear to goodness, America is the only place where I see fat poor people. Okay? I'm sorry. Where I see high calorie poor people. Everywhere else, you can see ribs, you see bone, you see flies, all that good stuff, right? When people are actually poor. They haven't eaten, it's famine. In America, you see none of that. In America, you see my 600-pound life, and they be living in a trailer. How does that houseway? How does that make sense? How are you 600 pounds and you're poor? So everybody else is poor, is slim. Our poor has enough to go on a fast for like 6 months. It's wild.
And let's also weave into the conversation that it's extremely paternalistic for you to think that you know what's best for people in their communities and that you should dictate how they spend their money. And before y'all start this nonsense of, oh, it's my tax money, I should be able to determine how people spend it. You pay more in taxes towards military. and you have absolutely no say in how it's spent. Move on. And the sad
He just compared us getting upset about how our money is spent to the military. Now, I also don't like how they have been spending, tax dollars with the military. However, that is the military. That is that's actually something that's going to protect me at some point. At some point. What do high calorie individuals do? Okay.
the reality is that everyone is invested in doing everything but fixing the actual problem. Like, you could just make healthier foods more accessible in every community. You could make it so that people could afford to buy more groceries, but instead we're making it harder.
It's wild because that's exactly what SNAP does. You can't afford it. You cannot afford the extra $400. We just gave it to you. Like, these people are wild. These people are wild. They're acting like nobody's helping them. It's crazy. Here's another one.
Landry, Donald Trump, Brooke Rollins. This video is for Jeff Landry, Donald Trump, Brooke Rollins, and Secretary Kennedy. Why the fuck did it matter if people was purchasing soda and candy with their fucking food stamps? Like, just say y'all fucking miserable and go on about y'all goddamn motherfucking life. Like, y'all some fucking hoes.
I can't even fight. That was wild. That was wild. You guys, I wanted to show you that because this is what's going around on the internet right now, okay? They are highly upset about SNAP for whatever reason. They are highly upset, okay? SNAP is for apparently poor people, but I've seen, honestly and truly, I've seen people that actually have a good job on SNAP. Okay. So they combine that with SNAP and they killing it out here. Okay. But let's just keep it with poor. Okay. Why would I want to go out and buy snacks, sodas, candies, all of this stuff? Because if you're on SNAP, more than likely you're on Medicare or Medicaid. That means I'm paying for that too. So now when you get diabetes and everything else, now I have to pay for that. So I'm paying for hospital visits because now you're on my 600-pound life. And now you get to get this surgery that's also on my dime because we got to get you down back to regular size because you're so high calorie. And now you're still on SNAP because you really can't work. So now you're going to get disability. Like, it's a repetitive cycle. It's a repetitive cycle. These people that get SNAP, okay, like nobody's saying that if you need help, you shouldn't be able to get help, right? But a lot of people don't understand that I don't have to just give you money, okay? And anytime I've ever seen, people borrow money, whether it's the bank or anything, it comes with some strings attached. Interest, this, that, and the third. Oh, you got to do this, or you got to come here, or you got to do, okay. So people, they're acting like it's a problem to have requirements on it. No, you can't get this. Yeah, I'll give you the money, but you can't go buy it. That's just like me saying, yeah, I'll give you money, but you can't go smoke it up. Agreed, Echo. Beggars cannot be choosers. Y'all are totally right. Yeah, beggars cannot be choosers. I don't understand it. And the left tends to think that middle class people who have money or people who are rich, they're all just mean and want to be, cruel. And I'm just saying, at the end of the day, this is not your money. It's not your money. It's not your money. It's not yours. And you don't help somebody by always just giving them the money. You help people by giving them a leg up, educating them on certain things because maybe they don't know. Okay, so let me help you. Let me educate you on this. Let me educate you on that. But people don't want it. They just want the money, and they want socialism until they don't want socialism. Because they don't like the government telling them, hey, you can't buy this on Snap, but wait until that African American Mondami in New York, because he said he's African American child. Wait until he gets in there. Wait until he gets in there with them government stores. Oh, it's gonna be nice at first. And then the government's gonna start telling you what you can buy, what you can't do, so you don't like this, but you want to vote Mondami in. Child. Doesn't make any sense. But you guys, let me know what you think about this down in the comments. And let me know what you think about this in the chat, because when I saw this, I just thought it was wild. Like, why can't there be restrictions? And I even remember looking at a story that back in the 90s, Bill Clinton had restrictions on like Snap and stuff. So why are they upset that Trump is doing it? They're always upset that Trump is doing something that the Democrats. Why am I surprised? But you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about it, okay? What's going on, Jerry? What's going on, Mandingo? What's going on, Scoop? I see a lot of you guys then pulled up. Thank you for pulling up. What's going on, T is Focus? Got Flavor. What's going on? Yeah. I agree with all of y'all, because that stuff is wild. All right, you guys. Now that we're through with the high calorie individuals, let's move on. Let's move on to one of our repeat offenders, child. I can't tell you how tired I am of talking about Ratchet Crockett, but I have to. I would say that I have to talk about Jasmine Crockett, because Jasmine Crockett is the poster child for what I don't want in a politician, what I don't want in a friend, what I don't want in a wig, okay? I never want my wig to be that dry, I swear to God. So, you guys, if you don't know, Jasmine Crockett is in the media, of course, but she's in the media because a story came out, okay? A story came out in the Post saying that Jasmine Crockett is a no-show boss from hell who terrorizes staffers, aides, and is a diva. This is the second story. The second, okay? The first one was written by the Atlantic. I don't know if you guys saw that story. Yeah, she's very low IQ. Okay. Anybody that don't know that you have to moisturize a wig, low IQ. However, like I said, this is the second story, because the first story from the Atlantic said that, Jasmine is pretty much a narcissist and that she's all about herself, which is probably why the DNC and the Democratic Party in general didn't want her sitting up there on their dime, okay? They didn't want her going up there talking to people. They didn't want her being up there on the oversight committee chair, yelling, cursing, doing all the stuff that she normally does. They didn't want it. Just like I normally tell people, we don't want it. We don't want it. However, this is the story that came out today, okay? Came out around what? 12 o'clock? All right. So now I want to show you guys what the internet actually thinks of Jasmine Crockett, okay? To the point where all this yelling that she's doing, all of this performative stuff, they are actually starting to mock her. And I do mean on the left and the right, okay? Like, people are just coming out like, we don't like her and we don't want her. But I found this hilarious. Watch this, you guys. Here we go.
We have the paper trail, and they refuse because the Supreme Court has paved the way for half the stuff that we see that's going on. Listen, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Okay, we know that. Yes, he is. He is. But in a functioning democracy, he still would not be able to get away with this. But he's been able to get away with this because the House Republicans are complicit. He's been able to get away with this because Senate Republicans are complicit. But most importantly, the courts, especially the Supreme Court, is complicit. And so I think one of the places that we have to start is we are absolutely, they are the highest court in the lands, and they have no ethics guardrails. Now you go down to the lower courts and they do. How much sense does that make? When we know that they're taking money, we have the paper trail, and they refuse to put guardrails on themselves. So it's time for us to do it for them.
Child, and another thing, okay? That piece of shit, he the reason why my eyelash is going up, okay? I ain't never had to pay. These was $1.99, okay, before this president got in office, before him and these racist white folks took over, okay? I was paying $1.99 for these. I don't even want to put them on, okay? I gotta say these because now they done went up to $2. They done went up a penny under this president. A penny. It ain't the immigrants that they be talking about. It's the president. These went up because of Donald Trump. That piece of shit, not because of the immigrants, okay? So, I mean, like, child, baby, if these white folks ain't gonna do nothing, I'm gonna have to step up and do everything. the Supreme Court in the Republic, they are complicit in these eyelashes going up. They complicit. Talk about because of the size. Remember, they large, so they gotta go up a penny. Okay,
They large.
So I'm just saying, child, I'm not gonna sit back and let these white folks take over and remove me from office and all of that. It ain't happening. Okay.
You guys, he has that woman down pat. I don't care what nobody say. Call my man Patricia. He got that together. Okay. Like he has it down pat. The nails is what takes me out. Okay. Like I would have thought he would have just got some fake nails and put them on the clip. They take me out. Okay. But he has her mannerisms down together. And he even got the wig because the wig is exactly the same. Okay. But this is what she had to say last Sunday. She's screaming and hollering. This is why they don't want her. Okay. And she knows once they redraw this district, which they will, she knows that she's out of it. She's out of it. If she has to compete with somebody else in her party, she's out of it. She got to compete with Sheldon. She's out of it. That's why she doesn't want them to redraw it. She absolutely doesn't want them to redraw it. Because once they redraw that, she's out of a job. She's out of a job. She's gone. Okay. Now, I want to move on. As funny as that was, I want to move on to Ratchet Crockett on CNN. I can't stand this lady right here. When I tell you what is her name, I forget. Caitlin. Yeah, I can't stand Caitlin. Okay, now she does, she does journalism, and she can be a good journalist, but she's not because she's very biased. Meaning, if it's a Democrat, she will allow them to talk. If it's not a Democrat, she's not allowing them to talk. She talks all over them. She'll ask a question and then don't let the person answer. Like, I'm not understanding. But she only does this to conservatives. But I want you guys to hear what Ratchet Crockett had to say about, her and Donald Trump's exchange and insults, and what she even had to say about Black MAGA, because all of a sudden she's mad at Black people. Okay. All of a sudden, she's mad at people of color. All of a sudden, those people matter. And I wonder why, right? Because it goes against the narrative that they have. It goes against the narrative that, nobody of color likes Donald Trump. But I want you guys to hear it out of her own mouth. Here we go.
And so I want people to see him and understand who he is. This is a person that has a problem with people of color, period. I don't care how many Black MAGA out there with their hats. I want to be clear When we look at who it is that he's kicking out of this country as people of color, when we look at who he always disrespects and says that they are low IQ, even though when you look at his cabinet, this has to be the most incompetent cabinet we have ever had in the history of this country. When we're talking about people that literally have the ability to drop bombs or order that bombs be dropped or make recommendations that bombs be dropped, and they literally don't know how to get the signal chat right. So we're talking about low IQ individuals, but so long as they say that this guy is their guy, and usually if they work for a certain news network, that's the only qualification that's necessary. I've got news for the president. I am not going anywhere. No matter how many squiggly lines they draw in the state of Texas, I will be back, and I will be on his behind and making sure the real accountability that the American people are demanding, whether they're Democrats, Republicans, or independents, that it is had when the Democrats take control of this House in the midterms.
Congress, she needs to be on her hairdresser. And I'm going to tell you why. It's lifting. Okay. This wig was looking nice about a week ago. I'm not going to lie. It was looking nice about a week ago. Now it's lifting. You need to be on her. Okay. You got to tell her you don't do nothing but be on TV. Okay. You don't work. You're never at the Capitol. Okay. I never see her on C-SPAN ever. So if you're going to be on TV, we need this to be done. Okay. It's lifting. Now, with that being said, I also want to get into what she said. She said, oh, well, you know, the MAGA people, I don't care how many of them it is. It's just colored people being thrown out of the country. Ma'am, most of the world are people of color. Okay. White people only account roughly about 30% or so of the planet. Mostly everybody else are people of color. So when they come here from everywhere, it's usually people of color, whether they're coming from Iran, whether they're coming from Turkey, whether they're coming from Egypt, whether they're coming from Mexico. I don't care where they're coming from. It's usually people of color. And he also kicks out the habitual visa stayers. Okay. The ones that stay, too long, overstay their visas. Yeah. He kicks those out too. Those tend to be your Chinese people. Yeah. He kicks those out. Yeah. Absolutely does. Absolutely. There's stats on that. And this is why I don't like her. I don't like her because she sits there and she lies. Okay, there's plenty of European people that he sends back. Okay, he has no problem. It is what it is. You come here, you overstep, you get sent back, white or black. But yet she sits here and she lies about this stuff. It's ridiculous. And then she said another thing. Let me see.
That literally have the ability to drop bombs or order that bombs be dropped or make recommendations that bombs be dropped, and they literally don't know how to get the signal chat right. So we're talking about low IQ individuals, but so long as they say that this guy is their guy, and usually if they work for a certain news network, that's the only qualification.
Okay, that was the other thing. She said that as long as they work for news networks and all of his administration are low IQ, this is the lowest IQ administration. They don't know how to get anything right. Has she met Kamala? Has she met her? Kamala talked about greens. What else has Kamala talked about? Chat, what did she talk about? What does Kamala talk about? I really would like somebody to tell me that. What does Kamala talk about? I haven't seen that woman talk about anything. And I do mean absolutely nothing. I haven't seen her talk about anything. And the one time she had the opportunity to shine, which was the border, because she was the border czar. Hey, have you been to the border? I've been to the border. You haven't been to the border. And I haven't been to Europe. Ma'am. And then we're sitting here talking about Joe Biden having an auto pen. You cannot talk about incompetent. Like, you cannot talk about incompetent. This administration actually has been doing stuff for Black people and people of color. Okay? Because they like to sneak that in. Like, they don't ever, like, they always want Black people to be their voting block, but they always say people of color. You know why? Because they're going to do stuff for everybody else that is a shade of brown other than you. That's how they get away with that. The Democrats always do that, right? When the Republicans want to do something, they say for who it is. If it's not you, it's not you. It is what it is. But the Democrats, they sneaky. I digress. That woman right there is a straight up lie. Okay? That woman is a Democrat if I have never seen it, because this is all she does. And she's noticing the tide is changing with minorities. It is what it is. Trump got more Black vote, got more Latino vote. He's running away with this. And they're mad. They're mad. Yeah, her wordplay is very deceptive. Exactly. Her wordplay is so deceptive. And they're mad. And then last but not least, she said, well, it doesn't matter how many squiggly lines that they draw. You know, I'm going to be back. No, you won't, ma'am. No, you won't. Okay, we're going to make sure that you and your wig are going to go bye-bye. Okay? We're going to make sure of that. We don't need it. We don't want it. There's nothing that she does. Okay? A Team Crockett person tried to come in my comment section 2 days ago talking about, well, I'm Team Crockett. I'm Team Crockett. He's never going to happen, talking about Sheldon Daniels. I said, okay, cool. Give me one thing she's done in legislation. Go. Crickets. Or should I say Crockett? All right. So with that being said, you know, we have to come to the delusional folks over here at CNN again, where my favorite, our favorite, Scott Jennings, has to tell the delusional left what's actually correct. I want you guys to see what Scott Jennings had to say about the Texas Democrats and FBI roundup and just Democrats in general, because these people are absolutely delusional. I want you guys to see this. Here we go.
They should go to work. Should they not? I mean, they got elected to represent people in Texas, not
So
people
should
in
Congress.
Illinois.
Why did they abandon the House to not vote on these Epstein files?
It's the August recess. And if you're comparing these
it was
two,
not the
once
August
again,
recess.
you're showing just how dishonest you're willing to be. They got elected to go to work in the Texas state capitol. They've left the state. They're abandoning their constituents. And if they want to go vote against the map, that's fine. But running off to Illinois, the most gerrymandered state in the country, I mean, I understand no one in the PR department at the Texas House Democratic Conference must have been at work that day, but it looks horrific for them.
But
to run off
let it be horrific. What I will say about that is that they had to flee. They don't have control.
Had to flee?
Let me tell you, they don't have control of the House or the Senate. Want to pick up seats for the midterm elections.
You get elected to represent people in Texas, and your reaction to that is to go to Illinois and hide behind J.B. Pritzker.
They're breaking quorum. That's what they're doing. They're breaking quorum because it is not right.
At minimum, it's childish, and it might be criminal.
Well, you know what's childish? About losing the House of Representatives because of higher.
Let's take the president.
They left in July, and they said they left in July because they didn't want to vote on the Epstein matter. They didn't want to vote to release the Epstein files. And so now you're saying the senators and the Congress, senators and the reps down in Texas have to do their job. Because what are they scared of? But what are you guys scared of in terms of staying in Washington? What's the difference?
Do you think you're a Democrat?
In California, an independent commission. Democrats would prefer a fair process and an independent commission.
No,
it is.
No, it's not in California. Republicans get about 40% of the vote, and they have 17% of the congressional seats. So not a great example. But number two, if it's rigging the election, that's your words. In Texas, is it going to be rigging the election when all these Democrats who say they're going to gerrymander in the other state, are you also going to argue that they're rigging the election or just in Texas?
Yes,
and have the elections been rigged in Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, New Mexico, Hawaii, Oregon, Washington, and Rhode Island? Have they been rigged there as well? Because there, the proportion of Republican vote comes nowhere near what they have in Congress.
They did a normal redistricting process. If states end up going if states end up going and calling special sessions and doing all of these things to try to gain seats, I agree. I don't agree with that. Do I think they need to do it? Absolutely.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So you guys know I live in the state of Maryland, and I can tell you right now, the gerrymandering here is absolutely atrocious. Okay. The counties in Southern Maryland are all, and I'm telling you, are all Republican. And they have Democrats representing them. There's only one county that I know of that has Republican representative, and I think it's Calvert County in Maryland. Everybody else, they got they got Democrats, and it's like, how are you able to do that? How are you able to do that? Okay, if you know Maryland, you know that the backside of Southern Maryland has this place called Wardoff. And this place called Wardoff has a lot, because it's right next to PG County, okay, where all the people of color live. All right. They have a large sum of the population because it's next to PG County in DC. When I tell you, they drew the maps all the way down there. And that's how Southern Maryland gets to have Democratic representation. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And now the Democrats have all the control. They control the Senate. They control the House here in Maryland. And they are the governorship. Okay? And as you can see, everything went up. Everything went up, 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 up. Transportation, all of that. So when Democrats, that vote for these people like to talk, they're like, oh, well, I don't want to pay an extra $150 just to register my car. Sorry, you voted for Westmore. You voted for that trash. That man is the worst governor. And they talk about, oh, he should run for president. Why? Have you seen what he's doing in Maryland? We're in debt. And he taxes everything. He taxes $1 10 times over. I don't know how you get 10 out of 1, but he does it. It's wild. It's absolutely atrocious. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. So you guys, you let me know what you think about Ratchet Crockett and her entirety of the New York Post stating that she's hard to deal with. Okay, that people in her camp, people on the left and the right say they're tired of her. They're sick of her. They're saying the exact same thing the Atlantic said. And the Atlantic is a liberal newspaper, or whatever they call it nowadays, because it's all digital. However, everybody's tired of that woman. Okay, people are making skits. People that listen to her in the media, they're tired of talking about her. Trump is calling her low IQ because he's like, I don't see how she's running y'all party, but she is. Her and Mondami have to be the worst, and yet y'all want them. Okay, her and Ayo Crazy are the worst, and yet y'all want them. I don't understand it, but you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about that, because it's wild at this point. All right. Before we go to the next point, I want to go ahead and read these super chats. Eric Harris, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, babe, watching you until choir rehearsal starts. Okay, you can sing. All right. Go, Eric. All right. Well, thank you. Let us know how choir rehearsal goes. All right. Show Classics, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Hello to the chat and Mika. The SNAP restrictions are good. It's not a punishment, but a service for the people. The generation after us will appreciate it. Yes. Okay. Because I have gone up to the high school, and I'm telling you right now, the high school girls, they look like they're 40 with 2 kids, 3 jobs. And no car. Thank you for the super chat. Kim won with the $5 super chat. I see a Remika. The guy's gonna be salty. Why would they be salty? These people love me. Hey, Kim won. These people love me. Okay? They love me. This is my family. Y'all my family. Thank you. I appreciate the $5 super chat. Y'all wild. Y'all are messy. All right, you guys. Let's move on to my favorite story of the day and the cover photo story. Okay, now today and yesterday were wild. All right, but you guys, I want to get into this because it's it's starting to become an epidemic. Okay, and what I mean is the illegals, they're now, because of the Democrats, they're starting to think that they have all of these rights. Okay, they're getting this and that and the third, and now they're going as far as to even have, you know, restraining orders on the government. What have you heard of restraining orders on the government? Now, I did a video about maybe 4 days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, and I did it on this guy out in the Bay Area. All right, he's an illegal immigrant, and I mean, when I tell you he's done attempted murder, vandalization, carjacking with a toddler in the back. Okay. Beat up an old lady at the gas pump. She had to douse him with gas. Okay. That story is literally on my page, you guys. And it got so many views because people were outraged. But yet, the government in California just keeps giving this guy chances. But we'll get there. What I want to start with, okay, is Operation, what are they calling this? They're calling this Operation, I want to say it's called Operation Trojan Horse. Yes, Operation Trojan Horse. They're calling it Operation Trojan Horse because the Democrats are upset that a judge ruled that ICE couldn't do this no more. They couldn't show up, and they did. And they showed up in a different type of way. No more unmarked cars, no more running up on people, no more bad boys. Now, they rolled up in what we're going to call moving style. Yeah, we're going to call it moving style. I want you guys to see this story. Here we go.
By immigration agents. Now to a controversial raid by immigration agents targeting a Home Depot parking lot. Their tactics drawing similarities to a story from ancient Greece. Protests in Los Angeles last night after an immigration raid being dubbed Operation Trojan Horse.
Bro, they got raided right now.
It unfolded just before 7 a.m. ICE agents pulling up to a Home Depot, waiting in the back of a rented Penske moving truck before opening the doors, jumping out, and detaining vendors and day laborers. The Department of Homeland Security saying it arrested 16 undocumented immigrants from Mexico and Central America. But critics claim the raid was illegal because of a decision last week by an appeals court, which upheld a temporary restraining order against indiscriminate immigration stops and arrests in 7 California counties.
Whatever terms of that temporary restraining order, it's only as effective as somebody's willingness to enforce it.
DHS claims the MS-13 gang has a chokehold on the area where the raid was conducted, which is why that location was chosen.
The question moving forward really depends on whether Judge Frimpong thinks there was compliance. If she doesn't, if she decides to hold the U.S. government in contempt, and then what happens next? Do they stop these raids, or do they continue to try and push forward?
The raid coming just one day after federal officials announced plans to expand an immigrant detention center in Indiana by 1,000 beds. Homeland Security calling the facility, not far from where the Indy 500 is held, the Speedway Slammer, and releasing this image showing a race car with a prison in the background. The car in the image bears the number 5, the same number as IndyCar driver Pato O'Ward, the only Mexican driver in the IndyCar series.
Oh, wow.
O'Ward responding to the image, saying, "I was just a little bit shocked at the coincidences." IndyCar says it was not aware of any plan to use that imagery. It's requested DHS not use it going forward.
Wow.
Welcome back. Time is.
I didn't know that. That is funny. That is funny. However, I really don't see the issue, right?
Now
like, I don't see the issue. And the reason why I don't see the issue is because you guys, meaning illegals, you guys tend to do whatever you want. These sanctuary cities are just allowing them to do whatever they want. They're draining the system, okay? Medicare, Medicaid, whatever is Medi-Cal is drained. All of it's gone, okay? Because these people are using it. They send their money back to their countries. Okay, Mexico is getting rich off of America. All right. They go and they work here and they send their money back in Mexican pesos, and the family lives high. They get these houses, and then boom, they leave, they go back to Mexico and live like a king. That's usually what happens. Okay. So I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. You want to come here, you want to be here, you get the proper visas, and let us take your money like everybody else. Okay. Let us take your dollars. Okay. And then you get to send your net back home for Mexican pesos. Okay. Like everybody else. And it's crazy because they are really mad about this this raid. I mean, they jumped out of a Penske truck. Moving will never be the same. Every time they see a moving truck now, it's just gonna be they're gonna be shook. You can and don't a lot of the Home Depot places have the Penske trucks? You don't even want to stand outside because you don't know what Penske truck is gonna get you. Child. This is wild. But of course, it's not without the left being mad. So let's get into one of the left's favorites, okay? His name is Penske. All right. And he's just like Harry Sisson. Okay. He's just like Harry Sisson, whatever. He's just like him. Okay. He reports on everything conservatives do and finds something to complain about. So he's very popular with the left on TikTok. All right. But I want you guys to see what he had to complain about. Here we go.
We have some big news right now. DHS agents arrived in Penske trucks at a Home Depot in MacArthur Park area of Los Angeles, according to Matt Finn from Fox News. For morning immigration enforcement, they literally jumped out of this car, which was disguised, and started chasing migrants across the street. I need you to watch this video because it's a stunning video.
This is inside of who recorded this?
They literally hopped out of the back of a Penske truck at a Home Depot and just started chasing migrants who scattered across the area. Now, according to Fox News' reporting, there was apparently an MS-13 chokehold and 16 were taken into custody. We're probably going to get more information as to who was actually taken into custody and whether they were actually part of MS-13 or potentially even U.S. citizens or asylum seekers or anyone else who was potentially legally here, because we don't really find that out until later. But still stunning images coming out of Penske Park. So spread the word.
So they have this app called the Citizens app, and they're constantly telling people where, ICE is going to be, which is wild to me, because why would you tell people where ICE is going to be? Why would you tell people about law enforcement? Okay. White liberals kill me. Okay. Because it's the white liberals that don't want them to be picked up by ICE. But if you ask them, do you want them in your home? No. Do you want them in your area? No. And then they stick them in the poorest areas where it's already people complaining about poverty and not having enough. Like in Chicago, like in New York, in AOC's district. Okay. And of course, like in California, in LA. They're doing that there. There are homeless vets on the street. There are homeless people that actually work. And then, you have your addicts, but you have homeless Americans. And then you go and add a whole migration of illegals. It's wild to me. It's so wild. But it doesn't stop there. Because you gotta understand that the left has to talk about the Yahtzees, okay? They got to talk about the Gestapo. Here we go.
As if we needed more proof that they are the same as the villains from World War II. I mean, they're literally taking a page out of their handbook. Remember when they rented Penske trucks earlier this year to transport people? Because they are now doing the same exact thing, renting Penske trucks so that they can hide their people inside of it and then go raid Home Depots incognito through this Trojan horse style rate. And it's so ridiculous that Penske put out this PR statement just a few hours ago stating that we didn't know that DHS was going to do this. They're not supposed to transport people in the cargo area of our vehicles. But it's like, what did you think that they were renting those box trucks for? It's not like they had Joe Schmo go in and be like, hi, I would like to rent a truck, please. You know they put it under their account. And sure, maybe Penske didn't know the exact details that they were going to be transporting people in the back of the cargo area, but you're literally under contract with DHS, so you don't get to play the, oh my God, I didn't know that they were going to use our trucks for this operation. Like, fuck.
Penske don't give a you-know-what, okay? Penske is just, hey, look, I didn't know they were going to put people back there. Penske is just saving themselves from a lawsuit, okay? I didn't know they were going to put people back there. However, we got a contract with them. They asked for 5,000 Penske trucks. We thought they were moving people out the Hoover building. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? That's all Penske got to say, okay? And it is what it is. Oh, well.
In addition to it being clearly stated on the Penske website that people are not allowed to be transported in the cargo area of box trucks, but it's literally California law. Notice the DMV website where it states that no one is allowed to ride in the back of a pickup or other truck unless the vehicle has secure seats and safety belts. Neither of which I'm seeing inside of this truck. And like I said earlier, not that we needed more evidence, that they just keep doing whatever they want, breaking the law because they clearly think that they're above it while violating people's constitutional rights. But
whose constitutional rights? These people don't have constitutional rights. They're not even in the Constitution. Okay? Slaves had to be written in the Constitution. They had to do a whole amendment. How do they have rights? I've never seen an amendment that added them. I've never seen an amendment that added, and illegal immigrants. I've never seen it. How do they have constitutional rights? They have a process. They have right to a process. They don't have right to due process. I don't understand why. Yes, I do. Ratchet Crockett keeps telling y'all that. And y'all believe her because she was a lawyer who got hired because she was Black. Her words, not mine. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, apparently now we also need to be wary of Penske trucks. Stay safe.
Yeah, you sure do need to be worried about them Penske trucks. Moving is never going to be the same. Every time somebody move, I'm telling you, you're going to see. I can't wait. I can't wait. I just can't wait. I can't wait. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these people, don't understand what they're doing. Okay. Yes. Are there some good people? Yes. There's good people in every type of demographic. The problem is the good people are still doing the same thing. You're coming over here illegally. All right. You're coming over here illegally, which allows for the bad people to do the same thing. You want to come over here for asylum? The bad ones say, oh, well, let's do asylum. They'll let you in. So for as many good people that there are, yeah, you're going to bring the bad ones with you. And that is the problem. The ones that have these kids, yes, actual kids, trafficking to labor, to, going to work at these construction sites. They're finding 15, 14. Why are their kids there? Okay. And why does Tom Holman have to go around trying to find 300,000+ children? It's wild. So no, I don't have any respect for for these people. I really don't. So now let me get into what I want to talk about after all of this nonsense. I told you about the guy that I did the story on. Well, here is another update because he is allowed to go ahead and use this restraining order on the government. Do you know how many people that are in the hood in the trailer park wish they can have a restraining order on the government so the marshals don't show up, so certain people don't come to their house? They can't do this. I've never seen this happen. However, the illegal immigrants, they're a special bunch. Here we go.
This morning's Newsmax crime report. We've reached the part of the immigration debate where federal judges are actually handing out restraining orders to block ICE from detaining illegal migrants.
Doesn't really make sense. And that's exactly what happened in one Northern California community. And the result was predictable. Newsmax crime correspondent Jason Matera is here with the alarming details. What can you tell us, Jason?
Yeah, Mark, Charlotte, this might be one of the most bonkers rogue judge stories we've covered. Certainly, it's in the top 10. You have a criminal legal who served prison time for attempted murder, getting a restraining order somehow against ICE. San Jose tattoo artist Guillermo Medina Reyes, he's an illegal alien from Mexico, convinced a federal judge on July 1st to block agents from detaining him. Already an activist favorite among progressives, Reyes had been organizing protests, rallies, and even hunger strikes, casting himself as the face of so-called unjust immigration enforcement.
Conversations that I've had with immigration officers, we're all criminals to them just because we weren't born here. But you do have a record. Yeah, but just like I do have a record.
Brought to the U.S. as a kid, Reyes reportedly tried to kill a rival gang member at 16 and spent the next decade behind bars. The moment he got out, ICE stepped in to detain him. But under the Biden administration, an immigration judge eventually let him walk, concluding that he wasn't a threat to the public. His lawyers claim he's now focused on transformation, healing, and community care. And Reyes is more than happy to echo the script.
People that have gone through similar situations, but for the simple fact that they're born here, they're left alone and they're not being criminalized.
That's a damn lie.
But nearly a month after a federal judge first granted him a temporary restraining order against ICE, Reyes was back in the headlines. Berkeley police say on July 27th, Reyes went on a deranged rampage. He entered a cafe shirtless, stole water, and swiped cooking oil, out of all things. He then tried to carjack 2 vehicles, one with a 3-year-old inside, and even attempted to steal a big rig truck. Reyes was arrested and charged with 5 felonies, but because this is California, no bail was set. Just a promise to show up for his next court appearance and to receive outpatient mental health treatment. Mark, Charlotte, it is worth noting that the judge who granted this restraining order is a Biden appointee. Surprise, surprise. But this woman granted the restraining order after Reyes was arrested and charged with felony vandalism back in May. And then she granted a restraining order in July. We did reach out to ICE, but they said because of this restraining order, they can't really talk much about the case, but they do think that it's going to be resolved in the next few weeks.
What do you have to do for a liberal to realize you should be kicked out of the country?
That's wild.
All right, Jason.
That's wild. That's wild.
Information.
What do you have to do? What do you have to do for a liberal to see that you need to be kicked out the country? He's absolutely correct. Because these liberals, they just let these people do whatever. They let them do whatever. They say whatever. They get to do whatever. It's wild. How do you get to do all of these things? And you get to get a restraining order. No, the United States needs a restraining order on him. How do you get to do all of these things? It is wild. I've never seen it. I'm not going to pay this, that, and the third, and then I'm going to get a restraining order on the United States government. I swear to God. I swear to God. Like if you come try to touch me, you come try to get me, anybody who owes taxes, nope, get a restraining order. If you live in a liberal state, go get a restraining order. Okay? Go get a restraining order right now. The United States government, they can't touch you. They obviously can't because you're a citizen with rights and you should have these. Like you should actually have these rights. You should have everything that Juan Jose Casilla, Pedro, Venezuela, Guatemala, Guantanamo. You should have everything that he has. I swear to goodness. I swear to goodness. So, what do you guys think about all of that? You guys let me know in the chat. What do you guys think about that story? It's wild. It's wild. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. You guys, that's wild. All right, let's get into these super chats. All right. Echo Jedi, what's up? $5 super chat. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show them that Penske truck, right? Yeah, that's what's up. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Welcome down whole time. All right, Kim won with the $10 super chat. Yes, This is why on my channel I propose a cash out from SSI and Medicare as a part of domestic debt forgiveness package. The cash out funds wouldn't come from the funds currently of SSI and Medicare. I would like to know more about that in depth. This is why on my channel I'm supposed to Yeah, you have to explain that to me a little more so I can understand that. But thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Yeah, and yeah, send me what you're talking about. I would love to know more about that. All right. Thank you. All right, and then Magnificent Gaming with the $5 super chat. Penske didn't say anything when illegal immigrants were using their trucks. Did the new benefits for joining ICE? Oh, wait a minute. So I didn't know that illegal immigrants were using their trucks. They do, and they use a lot of stuff to traffic, but of course Penske isn't going to say anything because it's culturally accepted, to like criminals, But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right, you guys. Last but not least, okay, I want to get into iPhone is canceled. Okay, there is a boycott going on right now with the iPhone and Apple, because Apple decided that they were going to invest in America. Okay, I want you guys to get into this. Okay, this is our last topic of the night, but I want you guys to get into this because I found it stupid, as I do with most of the things on the left. I found it stupid that they were complaining about this, but I want you to see the newscast first, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Here we go.
Apple went to the White House today to tell the world it is ready to invest billions more in U.S. jobs and manufacturing. Our business and tech reporter Scott Budman is here with the details behind this giant commitment. Hey, Scott.
Well, hey, Gia, the announcement from Apple shows how much big companies, tech and otherwise, want to please President Trump and maybe avoid big tariffs along the way. Earlier this afternoon, Apple CEO Tim Cook met with the president. Then the two of them jointly announced Apple's plan to spend $100 billion to create jobs and manufacturing facilities here in America. The plan is to use those facilities, including some owned by other Silicon Valley companies, to build components for iPhones and Apple Watches, not the full products, but parts. Take a listen as Tim Cook moved several tech stocks higher with one sentence today.
Shady.
This is for the first time ever. Every single new iPhone and every single new Apple Watch sold anywhere in the world will contain cover glass made in Kentucky. In addition to the American manufacturing program, we're also significantly growing our investments in AI.
All right, that AI part drove Apple's stock higher by about $6 a share in after-hours trading. Another Bay Area company, Applied Materials, will also benefit from the deal. Applied also saw its shares jump tonight, Gia.
Okay, so we're talking stocks, we're talking billions of dollars, jobs. Scott, what did you make of everything that we heard?
Here come the shade.
I think what we heard is that Tim Cook is really determined to please the president and indeed make sure that at least part of the iPhones and Apple Watches are made here in America. It's not all that likely that we'll see the full phones. Tim Cook himself says we won't see a full iPhone made here, but at least the components will. And that's likely to create some jobs, tech jobs, here in America.
Okay, so if Apple starts making more products here, should we expect prices to go up?
It's a great question. My guess is they may go up a little bit, but only a little bit. And Apple can offset those costs. After all, it's putting $100 billion towards this effort. And one thing it doesn't want to do is sell fewer iPhones and scare people away. So if the prices go up because of this, again, it's only some components. It'll only go up a little bit, and that cost may even be absorbed by Apple.
You see, NBC is a shady bunch, okay? NBC, MS, DNC 13, anything under the NBC banner is full of mess and shade because it is 600 billion, not 100 billion. They're not even reporting it right. Like, this is awful. Okay. And then all of the shade, well, it's not the whole phone. I mean, it's like some of it. Like, they don't want this man to win. They don't even want America to win, really. Like, I've never seen such unpatriotic people. Like, why do you want your president to fail? I didn't even like Joe Biden. I still wanted the man to succeed because I live here. Okay. Unfortunately for me, the man and the woman that he picked are just trash, but I wanted them to succeed. I didn't vote for them. I will never vote for them. Kamala will never get my vote. If I was blind, deaf, and dumb, I still wouldn't want to vote for them. And yet I wanted them to succeed. Like, I don't understand being unpatriotic, but the left is just that. Now, I want you guys to see just how unpatriotic all of them are. Okay. Because here is the left doing what they do best. Complain. Here we go.
And Apple is kissing the ring. And I'm recording this on a cuck phone. I think we should boycott Apple going forward. Because fuck this shit, man. Yeah, great. We're doing kissing the ring. Just sucking up to the man. I don't care, man. I don't care about my phone anymore. I bought like 6 iPhones. When does it end? Let me guess. The new one is coming out soon, and it's a rectangle that I'm gonna waste my life on. Just give me a fucking flip phone and fuck off.
Why do we care? Okay. Go ahead then. Get a flip phone. These people are doing the same thing they did with Tesla. Okay. They're saying that they're going to go and get another car. They're not going to buy this. They're not going to buy that, but they're going to buy it and they're going to keep it because they're already back to their clean air, clean energy, clean car initiatives. Okay. They're back to that. So I don't see anything changing with the iPhone because why? These millennials and these Gen Zers are not giving up that phone. I don't care. Okay. Maybe Gen X, but Gen Z, no, never. And I mean, please. They're not giving up nothing. All right. So I want you to see this one. Here we go. Here we go. Hold on.
Apple share. Remove, burn every Apple product, sell every Apple share, remove everything Apple from your home. Apple is dead. Apple products are dead. Apple is over. Do not buy Apple. Do not share Apple. Do not support Apple. Apple is over.
Just emotional as I don't know what. Who is with this man? Who is married to this man? Who wants this man? Okay. Like, who is talking to this man? This man is emotional. The cuck phone was wild. I ain't gonna lie. But but who is married to this man? Get rid of your shares. No, it's about to go up just like American Eagle. Okay. At this point, every time the left gets mad about something, I'm putting money on it. Okay. Just like Trump said, the stocks is about to go up. Okay. Yesterday's price is not today's price. All right. But they're all doing this. I want you guys to see this one as well, because they all are just, they all going wild. Here we go.
Holy shit. They have Apple users pissed off enough to give up Apple. They have Apple users. If you're millennial, you get this. They have the millennial user. I mean, the hipster iPhone users that would never switch. iPhone is better than anything. Apple is better than anything. They're switching. Apple made a deal with the government, and iPhone users are saying, bye. That's so fucking huge. That makes me feel hopeful.
You guys, at this point, throw the whole half of the country away. Whoever voted for Kamala, look at the voter rolls, figure out who voted for her, and throw that half all in California. California has enough space to fit all of them in it because they're all nuts. Okay, they're all absolutely nuts. Y'all like that phone just like you like the Teslas, just like you like everything that comes under Donald Trump. Okay, you like it. You just won't admit it. Okay. They keep talking about brace for the terrorists, brace for the terrorists. We've been bracing for the terrorists, for 6, 7, 8 months now? Nothing. Okay? Nothing. I don't know why they don't want you to win, but they don't want you to win. And y'all not going to Samsung. You're not trying to learn that whole system again. I used to have a Samsung like 10 years ago. If you ask me to use one right now, I couldn't tell you how to use it. You know why? Because it's been too long and I don't feel like learning it. I really don't. I don't care. So at the end of the day, I don't understand the outrage. I don't understand the phobia. I don't understand the fakeness. I don't understand why you guys don't want your president to win. It's all trash. It's all dumb. And it's just stupid. It's very stupid. Okay? It's very stupid. But you guys know how I do it. Here are my thoughts, okay? With everything that's happened between Ratchet Crockett, the redistricting of Texas, the iPhone stuff, these raids. When I tell you it's a new America, it's a new America. All right? It's a new America. And it is what it is. And these people, meaning the left, the liberals, the commies, they're having a hard time with dealing with that. We're not doing things the same. It's not the status quo. We're not operating as usual. They're tired of dealing with this nonsense, okay? For those of you who want to stay under the liberal regimes, you can go to states like Maryland. You can go to states like New York. You can go to states like California, okay? And I think a little bit of Minnesota too. Okay. If you want to be under, Somalian rule, Minnesota has plenty of that for you. Okay. But at the end of the day, I don't understand why these people want to go against their country. They're so unpatriotic. I don't understand, even if you don't like somebody, why you want them to fail. I don't understand why you don't want to work across the aisle when you do the exact same thing. The same thing Ratchet Crockett and her gang of, bullheaded reasoning chicks, they're everywhere complaining, but yet they are a part of the problem. They are okay with gerrymandering in their states, in Democratic run states. They ran to a state that literally has it. Okay. They literally have a whole pinky finger of places that they just drew through the map. And that's because they're gerrymandering. Okay? It is what it is. But at the end of the day, when the Republicans play the games that the Democrats play, they call it illegal. They call it not wanting to comply with this and comply with that. AOC told Joe Biden not to comply with judges, but now Donald Trump has to comply with judges. It's wild. But at the end of the day, we're going to call it out. At the end of the day, we're winning. At the end of the day, I think a lot of Donald Trump's ideas are great. The ones that I don't think are so great, I call it out. But at the end of the day, it's an 80-20. I think he does more good than bad. And that's how it should be. I don't expect Donald Trump to be perfect. I don't expect any president to be perfect. However, he's literally one of the best presidents we have had. And that is because he's for the people. He only talks about the people. And that's it. Most of these presidents don't ever talk about the people. Okay? Never. Unless it's a voting block of theirs that they can get. When the Democrats talk, they talk about the illegal immigrants. I don't ever hear them talking about the American people. When they're talking about people being kicked off of Medicare and Medicaid, they're talking about the illegal immigrants. They're not talking about the American people. And these people are being kicked off of Medicare and Medicaid because they don't belong on it in the first place. They shouldn't be there. And it is what it is. I don't have a care in the world. Because at the end of the day, everybody that is American has their own issues and their own problems. They're trying to make it just like everybody else. I don't understand why we should care about a group of people that come over here not seeking asylum, because there's nothing wrong with a lot of these countries. They're coming over here because they know they can get free money. And the American people have been drained for the last, I would say, 20 something years. But let's just take the last 4. Millions of dollars out the door. Hotels, food, this, that, and the third. We're doing all of this for what? For what? For absolutely nothing, because we get nothing out of it. So guess what? I'm with Donald Trump all the way, and I hope he continues to have people hopping out of Penske trucks. U-Haul is next. Okay? Everybody up. Okay? Maybe we'll see y'all hopping out of the Sprinter vans. All of that. I don't care. Whatever they got to do. Whatever they got to do. Because at the end of the day, everything needs to be fair. And one thing I think Donald Trump is fair. And those are my thoughts. So, you guys, thank you for pulling up. I appreciate you guys for always pulling up, always being vocal and active in the chat. Thank you so much. What did he say? The sound, the past, child, it's always one. It's always one. It's always one. It's always one. It's always one in the chat. The end of the day gonna end. That's what the liberals like to hear. Nonsense. At the end of the day gonna end. You guys, thanks for pulling up. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Crown me. Yeah, you late. I've been here ranting for an hour and 20 minutes, but it's all right. It's okay. You're good. What's going on, Gary? Okay, thank you for pulling up. Thank you in Philly for pulling up. Thank you. Oh my goodness. P Zion. I think that's what it says. Correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you, King, for pulling up. Thank you, Hippie J. Thank you, Echo. Thank you, Scoop. Thank you, Waters Peace. Thank you, Elliot. Thank you. Thank you, Echo. Thank you, Tyrone. Thank you, your car. Thank you, Loud and Clear. Got Flavor. Thank you for pulling up. Thank you, Tech Des. Thank you, Magnificent Gaming. Thank you, Mike That Dude on Cash App. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. Who else we got? Thank you, Dion. Thank you, Dwayne. Who else we got in here? Thank you, Holland. Thank you, Big Dub. Thank you. Thank you, Eric Watson. Thank you. Thank you, love. Thank you, Quick Fix. Thank you. Who else we got? I always hear new faces. Shout out to the new people. Thank you, B Brand TV. Appreciate you pulling up. Thank you so much. Who else we got in here? I'll be going too fast, but I'm sorry. Thank you, Chad for Morris. Thank you for pulling up. Who else we got? Jada Legend. Thank you for pulling up. I appreciate you, love. Thank ya. Who else we got? M Watson 80. Thank you. I think I might have got everybody. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Prince. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Thank you, Simeon. Thank you, Kim One. Thank you for the super chats as well. Thank you, Freddie or Fred. Fred dislikes back. What? That's y'all got wild names. Let's see who else. Thank you, Dale 0015. You guys, I think I pretty much got a lot of you guys. Thank you, Purple Haze. Okay, and if I did not call your name, I am sorry. Hold on, I got one more super chat. Kim One sent you an email briefly describing what I'm proposing. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for the super chat again. Thank you. Thank you so much. I will read it. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody who super chatted. Echo, DJ Kim One, Showcase Classics. Thank you, Eric Harris. Thank you so much. Magnificent Gaming. Big. Oh, thank you. Big M Dub. Big B1G M Dub. Which one is it? Correct me in the chat. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for pulling up. Thank you to all you guys that will watch on the replay. I definitely appreciate it. Make sure I didn't forget anything else. Nope, I got all of them. All right, cool. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, P Zion. Yep. Oh, Big M Dub. Okay, so it is. Okay, so I did say it right the first time. Thank you, Crown Me. I appreciate it. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate it. Thank you, Happy. Big Happy. Yep. You're gonna have to watch the replay. Thank you, Super Tim. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yep. Thank you. Is that Rewise 208? I think so. Thank you, Magnetar. Thank you. Holla at Dre. That's what it says. All right. I'm getting better. Oh my God. All right, you guys. As always, thank you so much for pulling up. It's your girl, Mika, and I'm out. Peace.